NBA season is back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, it feels so good to be watching NBA basketball once again. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had this exact same idea. I was going to overreact to each team's first game of basketball, but I looked it up. You know, I did my little research and I saw that my boy Rusty Buckets already did it. So why not just mooch off of his content? We're going to be reacting to Rusty Buckets, overreacting to every NBA team's first game. Let's dive on in. I hope you guys enjoy.
The NBA season is finally upon us, and every team in the NBA thus far has played their first game. And just as I did for the play,
this is a new haircut. I'm fucking with the haircut. Fucking with it, Rusty.
Playoffs in this previous season,
I like the greaser slick back look
to every single one of these games. Just gonna be one or two, maybe even three takeaways for every single team. But let's get into it.
And then throughout this video, I'm kind of going to play along, kind of give some of my ideas out of there, some things that I was thinking about. Because
before we get to today's video, I want to talk about our view paired. Yes, but there are some important takeaways you can get from finally seeing a team on the floor for the first time rather than it just purely being a hypothetical. So with that said, let's get into it. Did I already say that in the intro?
Yeah,
oh well,
it's
whatever.
Fine, bro.
Also, the background is different because I am in the process of moving, so it's going to be like that for a few days. Starting with the Bulls-Thunder game on the...
All right, start with the Bulls-Thunder game. I'm going to give my little take before he gives his. I didn't watch this game. Because I have NBA League Pass and I live in the Chicago area. So for some reason, if you live in the area and you have League Pass, you cannot watch the game. So that sucks. But from what I saw, like highlights wise and box score wise, the Bulls are going to have the same problems that they had from last year. The defense, especially the interior defense, it's very lackluster with Nikola Vucevic on the interior. And then on the offensive end, Zach LaVine, he's just as inconsistent as he was last year. And this is after seeing two of his games, because they played the Toronto Raptors last night and Zach LaVine had another bad game while DeMar DeRozan was showing his ass off. So I don't think the Bulls are going to be great this year. I think they're still going to struggle on both the offensive and defensive end. And it's just going to be another like mediocre season for them. So if they don't make it happen, if they don't make something happen this year, like rather trading DeMar, trading Zach LaVine, I think the offseason is going to be, they're going to have to do a lot of work in the offseason. And then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, young guys playing great. Chet Holmgren, he's out there, 7-1, he's just a beast. Him and Shea together is going to be something scary. Defensively, I'm not too sure what the Oklahoma City Thunder really bring defensively, but they have young guys, fast guys. They have guys that can stretch out the floor. The Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be a fun team to watch this year. Really fun team.
Not have the personnel to actually hit these threes, it does not matter worth a damn. My other two notes were, I think Torrey Craig is going to be a really good signing for this team. He's basically the only Bull that had a good game here. And the last note is, please blow this team up. They literally had a players-only meeting after game one. It's a disaster. This roster's not good, and it's a waste of...
Honestly, I was a little upset with the blow this team up narrative last season. But no, okay, wait. I was okay with them not blowing it up if they would have just traded Vucevic for like a good perimeter defense and maybe like a good 3-and-D person. But they re-signed him? Yes, this team is over with. Blow it up. Trade everybody except for Kobe White, because I feel like Kobe White is going to be a great player. I don't even think we should keep Patrick Williams and keep fucking Dalen Terry, because I just love Dalen Terry. If you've been watching Bulls games and you're a Bulls fan, you know we love Dalen Terry. Yes, blow this team up. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
Literally,
I can't go through another mid-season.
So stop
I can't.
It. For the OKC Thunder, they had a very good first game, and one of my biggest takeaways is that Cason Wallace, their rookie from this previous draft, might end up being the fifth guy for this team. After Giddey, Jalen Williams, Chet, and obviously SGA, it's a little bit up in the air where everybody else's position on this roster really is, but Cason looked great, played really good defense, and hit all of his three-pointers, and if he's going to do that, then he makes for the perfect fifth man. Moving on to the Lakers-Nuggets game on the...
All right, now this is a game that I love. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this game a lot. Denver Nuggets, they're looking as solid as ever. Nikola Jokic, 30-point triple-double to open the season off. Jamal Murray had a decent game. The defense was there. The Denver Nuggets, they're looking like they're going to repeat this year. Now, it's a team in the East that I know we're going to talk about later that may contend with them. But for right now, I don't see the Denver Nuggets having any trouble in the Western Conference, especially against a Lakers team. I don't think they're going to have problems against a Golden State team. The Phoenix Suns is probably the only team that's really going to give them a run for their money. But, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, they're already out, and it's only game 2 of the season. So we're going to see how that works out. But for the Lakers, same shit, different year. I mean, Lakers fans, it's so exhausting kind of listening to them hype up the team every single season and then having the team show like the Lakers team. It's not a bad team. Don't get me wrong. The Lakers they have a great team. No, great team. They have a good team. But I don't feel like this is a team that's going to make any noise in the playoffs. I'm sorry. It's just the same shit, different year. Anthony Davis had a stinker of a first game, 0 points in the second half. In a game against the Phoenix Suns, he had a better game. They ended up winning actually because LeBron is just the GOAT. 40 years old, still closing out games is ridiculous. I just feel like the Lakers, they're not going to be making any. It's the same shit. It's the same shit every year with the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Same
Lakers
shit.
End of things. My first takeaway is I just think that the inconsistency that Anthony Davis has displayed pretty much after their 2020 title
it's the
run,
same
I
shit.
think we just have to accept that that's the norm with him. It's just happened too many times now. He had 17 points in the first half, 0 in the second. I just think that's the way that he is. And at this point, I can't expect any different. I also think that Rui needs to get more minutes and more opportunities. There's just absolutely no excuse for Cam Reddish to be getting more minutes than Rui, especially when considering the difference in money these guys are making. And the last thing is the Lakers are pretty bad at capitalizing on momentum. That's really the big thing that I notice with them is often when the game swings in their favor, they're the ones that end up breaking the momentum rather than the Nuggets in this case. And if you can't take advantage of things when they're on your side, it's not going to go well. For the Nuggets, I really didn't have any takeaway because this just looks like the same team that just won a championship. Because
they're repeating. They're repeating.
Really, the only thing I would say is like if Christian Brown develops a 3-pointer, then that honestly just fully makes this team the favorite. Just need a little bit more confidence in their depth, but after that, it's either them or the Bucks for me personally. And then of course the Celtics are right there. The Rockets Magic game was extremely boring to watch.
I was about to say, I don't even remember this game. I don't even remember anything going on in this Rockets Magic game.
Rockets just got absolutely dumpstered. I'm
gonna do a little skip because I'm not going to react to something that I have no knowledge about. I don't know what the hell happened with that game.
Teams in the league. Also, Paulo Banchero just has ridiculous potential. I think pretty highly of him personally. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I have one major takeaway.
All right, this Bucks game, it wasn't pretty to watch from a Bucks fan's perspective. Well, actually, it wasn't fun to watch, but it was much needed, and it gave me a lot of hope for this Bucks team. Throughout that entire game against the 76ers, Giannis was being double and triple teamed. They were building a wall against him. They had PJ Tucker putting in work guarding him on the defensive end. And PJ Tucker, he's no slouch on the defensive end. So you can say whatever you want about how Giannis performed that game, but the Philadelphia 76ers, just like the Milwaukee Bucks plan, was to let the others beat them. The difference is the others on the Philadelphia 76ers side was Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre Jr., while on the Bucks side, the others was Chris Middleton and Damian Lillard. And Damian Lillard went off that game for 39 points. And that is something that, as a Bucks fan, you just love to see it, because even though Giannis had a piss poor night, he played terrible that night. 23 points, terrible splits. Well, splits weren't that bad, but the free throw splits, I think he missed like 8 or 9 free throws that game. That's something that's going to happen all throughout the season. I'm kind of upset that, because it's like, what is he working on in the offseason if he's still missing these free throws? But even with all of that being said, on the defensive end, the Bucks are still great, even without Drew Holiday. And on the offensive end, they're 10 times better, because no way in hell is Giannis getting tripled and double teamed, and Drew Holiday is dropping 39 points. No way that's happening. So, and then it was a good stretch in the second quarter, I believe, where Giannis was on the bench. And I feel like this is great for the Bucks. It's going to be great for Damian Lillard when Giannis is off the floor and Damian Lillard can just control that offense. He went off for like 15 points in 4 minutes after Giannis sat on the bench. Now, that is not me saying that Giannis and him won't be able to work together, because obviously that pick and roll is going to be unstoppable. It was just the way the defensive scheme was against the Bucks that day. It favored more for Damian Lillard than it did for Giannis. Same thing on the Philadelphia 76ers end. Joel Embiid was getting doubled and triple team every time he touched the ball. Every time he was within like 10, 15 feet, he was getting doubled and triple team. He couldn't really do much, and that allowed guys like Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre to have great games. And I feel like that's what a lot of people miss, because a lot of people are being like, Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, and I forgot who was the third person. They combined for 76 points. You really think Drew Holiday would have, like, it's like, come on, guys. The defensive scheme was it had to be to let the others beat us. Do not let Joel Embiid put up 30 plus points, have an amazing game, and beat us. Let those other guys beat us. And they executed that perfectly. The same way that the 76ers executed their game plan on Giannis perfectly. It was just that Damian Lillard stepped up, hit big shots, and controlled the game. That's all it was. It was a great game to watch.
Giannis
too. Great game to watch.
Dramatically reduce his on-the-ball attempts with this team, specifically him dribbling the ball towards the top of the key. I just think it'd be much better for this team if either Dame or Chris is doing that. Of course, if neither of them are on the floor, then go crazy. But there were so many possessions where Giannis is dribbling and then just Dame and Chris are sitting there, and it's like, this is not the best utilization of the pieces you have here. Giannis would be far better and
in the pick and roll situation,
rolling to the basket.
Yeah. I get that, but I still feel like he needs his possessions to just go out there and go one-on-one at the top of the key. I mean, Giannis, we all know Giannis doesn't have that deep of a bag. We all know this, but I still feel like him going downhill. I mean, he can go downhill in the pick and roll, which I believe is the best thing for the Bucks to do. But even if Giannis wants to go one-on-one at the top of the key, have the defense collapse, because I feel like that's the plan. For him to go one-on-one at the top of the key, drive in, have the defense collapse, and then either kick it out to Dame or Chris Middleton or Jay Crowder or Pat Connaughton or Bobby Portis or Brook Lopez or whoever the hell is out there on the floor. I still feel like that's good. But it's their first game together, their first real game together. So let's give it. I think it's just give it some time.
Typical big man things, and I think he's just trying to do too much guard stuff, which was excusable when your guard play wasn't Damian Lillard. But now that that's also true. Seems like a massive waste for the 76ers. The big thing that stood out to them for their offense, and this isn't necessarily a big surprise, is that the lack of playmaking, given that James Harden is not there, really hurts their offense, and it's probably going to hold them back from being good when otherwise the pieces there are pretty solid. We got some really good contributions from Maxey, Tobias Harris, and even Kelly Oubre, but you're going to need people to actually be able to be connectors on offense, and right now it's just a lot of guys that can play finish but not play make. For the Suns-Warriors game, my take about the
Suns Warriors, like I said, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker's already out. So even with Booker and KD in together, they still had a dogfight with the Golden State Warriors. Who, granted, they were only missing Draymond Green, but Draymond Green adds a lot. Like I don't care what anybody says, Draymond Green adds so much to this team on the defensive end and just intensity wise that his absence is a big factor in why the Golden State Warriors lost that game. But even with him out, it was still a dogfight, which I don't think it should have been. And then another big thing for the Phoenix Suns is they are literally a 3-man team. Outside of Devin Booker, outside of Bradley Beal, outside of Kevin Durant, who's going to perform on that team? Guys like Yusuf Nurkic, I feel like he's a good player, but he is. Do you really want Yusuf Nurkic to be your fourth option? So it's like you're a three person team going against teams that has depth all throughout the NBA. I don't think there's really any teams that has like the core super team anymore. I think a lot of teams have strayed away from that super team model and gone based off depth. And then we've seen that in this game, because if Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are on the court, then it's just a shit show, honestly. And then Golden State Warriors are Golden State Warriors. I don't. They do the same shit. Curry goes out there, he shoots the ball.
Now, but
blah, blah,
my
blah.
gut tells me that
Blah, blah,
Devin
blah, blah,
Booker
blah.
is the best player on this team. I know that
Oh, yeah,
it makes
definitely.
sense to believe that Kevin Durant is better, and that's the majority
Devin Booker is the
opinion,
better
but
player.
It just seems
100%.
like whenever, you know, Phoenix really needs somebody to take control of the game, it's always Devin Booker. Now, that can partially be because he's the younger player and this is the regular season, but this is just
even in the
takeaway from everything.
in the playoffs, I feel like Devin Booker would be that guy over Kevin Durant to kind of like in clutch time when you need a bucket. You can go to. I'd rather go to Devin Booker than Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. Shoot me. But I would much rather go to Devin Booker than Kevin Durant if I need a bucket.
You know, sue me. Also, as much of an injury risk and as much as I've made fun of him for this as Nurkic is, if he's actually healthy and if he's actually playing, he does fit this roster very, very well and could actually make the trade moving DeAndre in look a little bit better in my eyes than it originally did. For the Warriors, Dario Saric missed a handful of shots in this game, I think 8, but he got shots within the flow of the offense that I liked and he didn't force things all too much, and I really think his specific skill set in the Warriors system could actually work pretty damn well and make him a very valuable role player for them. He wasn't really a factor I considered all much with this roster going into the season, but he might actually end up being pretty important. Also, other takeaway that I had was that Kevon Looney being here, if it was Draymond Green instead, I think this team would have been killed inside. So the idea of starting Draymond at the 5 and Chris Paul in that starting lineup, I just do not know about that, man. I think Chris needs to come off of the bench, especially given that he kind of struggled in this game, at least in terms of his efficiency shooting the ball. The Celtics-Knicks game, I think that Kristaps Porzingis.
All right, I'm gonna stop it here. We're about 9 minutes into a 19-minute video. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to steal all of his content. So if you haven't seen this video, go ahead and check out Rusty Buckets. The video's link will be down below in the description. And I hope you guys did enjoy. NBA season is back. I'm gonna try to stray away from the reaction videos, kind of do my own thing, but it's just like within the first 2 games, it's not really much to talk about. So that's that. But I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, feel free to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see all you in the next one. Peace out.